Baby, my name is Ross Mandell, and welcome to my show. We're coming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida, Epic Production Studios. Go Epic! We're coming to you uncut, unfiltered, uncensored, unedited, and under arrest. Under arrest. It's a pretty interesting way it flows, right? But the truth is, about a year ago, I was arrested. I surrendered to the FBI, and I was indicted on 2 federal counts: conspiracy to commit securities fraud and the actual securities fraud. I was charged by the Southern District, and I surrendered to the FBI on July the 8th, 2009. My name is Ross Mandell, double S, double L, and you could check that. You could check that shit out. I mean, who am I? Who is Ross Mandell? Well, I'm a 53-year-old guy. I'm a Jewish kid from Long Island who left Wall Street after 25 years and retired in Boca Raton, Florida. Is that a surprise? Along the way, I drank and drugged my way into a position of some notoriety on Wall Street. I was a real Romeo with the women, and I was abrasive with the customers. And around 1990, October of 1990, I went to a 28-day program. I was introduced to Alcoholics Anonymous, and I got sober. You see, I'm an addict and an alcoholic, and have all those traits and habits, a AAA type personality, which was perfect for Wall Street. I came down to Boca Raton, Florida, with my wife, my young wife, Stephanie, and our 2 beautiful little children, Skylar and Sydney. Mwah! God, Daddy loves you guys so much. And I retired. In about 18 months after that, I got a call, and I was told I have to be at FBI headquarters to surrender in the morning. And he said to my attorney, well, what if I don't go? He says, then they'll come arrest you. So I went down to Lower Manhattan and turned myself in, surrendered my passport. I was processed and printed and perp walked. It's a big deal today, it's like very trendy now, Lindsay Lohan was perp walked, and Snooki, Charlie Sheen has been perp walked a number of times, and it's like the in crowd. You got to be ahead of the curve instead of behind the curve. When I got sober in 1990, it was a little freaky and it was a little avant-garde and a little ahead of the curve. Today, you want any action, you go to a 12-step recovery place, you meet women, you make friends, you get well. I mean, it's like a happy and healthy experience. See, I was ahead of the curve, okay, guys? So if I could share any of that with you and impart any of my sort of special, insightful wisdom on you, then we're going to do okay together. Now, first of all, I'm an innocent man. I was wrongfully charged. I'm not guilty of the charges that have been brought against me. And so you all know, when you get arrested in this country, they read you your Miranda rights, which include everything you say can and will be used against you. That's a pretty powerful line. Not only can they, but they're gonna be. So imagine what happens when they get a hold of this this footage, right? Coming to you live. No attorneys, no counsel, no boundaries, no edits, no cuts. There's not even a director in the room. It's just me and you guys. And I appreciate you tuning in and listening to me, because I know what's going on today. I know what's going on in your life. You might think, who is this wacko? Who is this wacko who doesn't know me and has never met me telling me what's going on in his life? Well, let me tell you something. People are in a lot of pain today. People are lonely, even people that are with people. People are hurting today, financially. 10 million Americans lost jobs. Many of us have businesses that are just, they're sucking wind. There's no money. There's no liquidity. We might own a house, a second home. We might own an apartment. We might own some real estate. Well, we've been clipped. We've been cut in half at least. And is there a hope for recovery? We all have these little hopes, and I'll get to that later on in the show if you'd like. It's going to take a long time for the healing, the financial healing of this country, and I suspect things are going to get a lot worse before they get any better. There's a lot of drinking and there's a lot of drugging going on, and frankly, I don't want anyone to think because I'm sober, going on 20 years sober, it'll be 20 years by the grace of God this October, that I'm taking some sort of position against drinking or drugging. I mean, frankly, if drinking or drugging was an Olympic sport, I would have been a favorite to contend for a medal. I could have been representing this country because, boy, I could put it away, and I can use like nobody. And doesn't matter if it's a tablet or a powder or a liquid, let's do it, baby. So it's what I love to do. In fact, I have initials after my name: AA, CA, NA. I wish I had MD, PhD, JD, ESQ, but no, more like AA, CA, NA. And, it's something that I love, and it's my nature. It is my nature. And I sympathize with you if you're drinking or you're drugging, it's getting a lot of hand, because life is tough. I mean, life is what you make of it, but there's a lot of tough moments. And, who is this guy talking to me like this? Let me tell you something. I was arrested on national television. My wife, my poor wife, had to sit there. In court she came and sat there with her brother for support. Love you, see? Love you. And had to listen to these charges being read against me. And when we walked out, the media attacked her. Photographers and journalists and camera guys and sound guys. It was nuts. In her face. And, my children, my little girls, we had to shelter them, I mean, imagine the pain in dealing with this. Now, for the last 13 months, we're back in Boca Raton, Florida. Kids go to school. It's a smallish, sort of upscale community. And everybody's in everybody else's business. And could you just imagine what my family has to go through on a daily basis? Not to mention, I lost job opportunities, employment opportunities. It cost me almost all my money. I mean, so what the markets didn't take away, what the real estate market didn't take away, what the investment markets didn't take away, this case, the government, I mean, it's been brutal. It's been brutal. So if you're listening, if you've got an issue with drinking or drugging, if you've got an issue with financial stuff, God forbid you're in my shoes, you're walking in my shoes, and you've got an issue with the legal stuff, whether it's lawsuits or bankruptcies or federal, state stuff. If you don't think that I can relate to what you're going through, if you don't think that we share a common bond, well then, you should turn this off and maybe put Oprah on. Watch some chubby, rich, black lady just prancing around, like Mary Poppins. I mean, one of the things is I'm a real guy, and I'm going through real stuff, and I'm going to share it with you in a very uncensored, unfiltered way, because that's just the kind of guy I am. I go for that. That's what my producer says. I go for that. So I want to jump right in, and I want to chat briefly about something on the political scene right now. News just broke. Former Governor Rod Blagojevich, was the former governor of the great state of Illinois, was on trial. They accused him of trying to sell a former senator, United States Senator, Barack Obama's Senate seat. Barack Obama was senator from Illinois when he won the presidency. So he left Illinois for the White House. The White House, yes. And the Senate seat was vacant. And the U.S. Attorney indicted and charged former Governor Rod Blagojevich, or he was actually the governor at the time, with trying to sell illegally, procure money and favor for the Senate seat in Illinois. And very famous U.S. attorney made a big show, charged him with 24 counts, 24 criminal counts. This is a guy that has put away several leading special prosecutor, you know, Pat Fitzgerald. He's put away, he's jailed, he's convicted. Several major names who I'm going to leave out today. And he's on a fast track, this guy. Maybe for the White House. You know, maybe for Attorney General of the United States. So forth and so on. Cabinet position. And he accused this Rod Blagojevich of racketeering and all money laundering and fraud and extortion and conspiracy and 24 counts.